Today, we're going to do the voter registration shifts for the month of February. The first one here is from January, but it came out late last month. So let's hop on and take a look at the data. And remember, this is not my own, it's from Michael Pruser. So let's start here in Arizona. The state doesn't release their data every month. And if your state is not on here, that means they don't publish the voter registration data by party. So here we had Trump winning the Grand Canyon state by 5.5. And here we've got an active party registration. Some states have total party. It's 4.3 million. Broken down by party, Republicans are at 1.55. Dems are at 1.22. Other or independents or unaffiliated are at more than 1.5 million. That's even more than the Republicans. Now, the changes since the last update in October are Republicans lost more than 52,000. Dems right under that at 50K. Other lost even more at 64,000. So it looks like we've got a lot of voter roll cleanup here. Different places do it at different times and have different requirements to maintain an active voter status. So the difference between the two major political parties is Republicans are up 330K. In the last presidential election, they were up 295, so it was lower. If you go back to 2016, it was less than half that at about 141K. So keep in mind, voter registration data only tells you so much. It doesn't tell you who's going to vote for who and what the turnout is going to be. So let's go through the rest of these states. We'll start in the most competitive and go to the least. In Pennsylvania, Trump was at 1.7. More cleanup here. Republicans lost 17,900. Dems more than 25K. Other lost 9K. Also take note of this state having front-end automatic voter registration. That means you can opt out when you're at the DMV. Some states don't have it at all. Others have back-end where you've got to opt out after the fact. But here the Dems have the advantage of 42,800. But here the Dems have the advantage of 42,900. Back in 24, it was a lot higher. It was 131K. Back in 16, it was way, way higher at 916K. Could be a lot of legacy Democrats here as well as some other states where they've been voting Republican for a while, but they've never bothered to change their voter registration. Next, we've got New Hampshire. Harris got it by 2.8. Republicans lost 2K. Dems lost 1,600. Others up 99. Republicans have an advantage here of 49K. It's just a bit higher than 47K back in 24. And back in 16, it was a 20K advantage for the GOP. In between there, it did flip toward the Dems. In Nevada, Trump got it by 3.1. Republicans gained 192. Dems more than that at 711. Others up huge at 11,400. A lot of that's going to be because of this automatic voter registration. The Republicans have the advantage. It's a slim 2,600. Back in 24, it was flipped. Dems were up 7,100. Back in 16, they were up a ton more, 88,000. In North Carolina, Trump got it by 3.2. Republicans gained 12,800. Dems were up 8,700. Independents were up 44,000. Republican advantage here is 117K. In 24, it was 23,000. And back in 16, Dems had a massive advantage of 646K. New Jersey had Harris getting it by just 5.9. Republicans gained 216. Dems lost over 1,000. Other is up 6,400. Dems have a giant advantage here, 853K. It is lower than 905 back in 24, and back in 16, it was 862. New Mexico, Harris got it by 6. Republicans gained 833. Dems gained 561. Other is up 6,100. Dem advantage 130K. In 24, it was 154, and back in 16, it was just under 200K. Colorado had Harris getting it by 11%. Republicans gained 636. Dems are up 1,400. Other is up 13,000. Dem advantage 92K. Back in 24, it was higher. It was 110. Back in 16, it was way lower for the Dems, just 7K. So that state has clearly drifted a lot bluer. Sometimes the voter registration data takes a little while to catch up. And on the flip side, we've got Florida. Trump got it by 13.1. Republicans lost 6,200. Dems lost 10 times that, 65,000. Other is down 49,000. Republican advantage here is significant, 1.48 million. In 24, it was 1.07 million. And back in 16, Dems had an advantage of 327K. So a ton of movement here toward the right. In Iowa, Trump got it by 13.2. Republicans gained 148. Dems lost 349. Others up 3,800. Republican advantage 198K. In 24, it was 173. And back in 16, it was under 27K. In Rhode Island, Harris got it by 13.8. Republicans lost 5,200. Dems lost 16,000. Others down 18,000. It's a state where no party affiliation massively outnumbers both of the two major political parties. But between the two, Dems are up 140K. Back in 24, it was higher. It was 169. And back in 16, it was even higher at 237. In Delaware, Harris got it by 14.7. Republicans lost 424. Dems Dems lost 737. Other is up 1,300. Dems are up 131K here, but in 24 they were up 145, and back in 16 they were up 131. We got a California update. Harris got it by 20.1%. Republicans lost 20,000 here. Dems went the other direction. They gained 4,400. Other is up 14,000. The Dem advantage here is way up there at 4.57 million. But back in 24, it was 4.71 million. Back in 16, it was 3.67 million. Nebraska had Trump getting it by 20.5%. Not much going on here. Republicans lost 183. Dems lost 79. Other lost 491. Republican advantage 294K. Back in 24, it was 286. And back in 16, it was 214. In Utah, Trump got it by 21.6. GOP gained 298. Dems gained 956. Other gained 2788. Republican advantage here is 682K. In 24, it was a little higher. It was 689. But back in 16, it was way lower. It was 416K. One of the few states where Dems usually tend to do better than the Republicans. Louisiana had Trump getting it by 22. Republicans gained 402. Dems lost 2,300. Other is up 774. It's a red state, but Dems have the advantage here of 25,000. That number is seriously dwindling. Back in 24, it was 86K. And back in 16, it was way higher at 451K. At some point, that is going to flip. In Maryland, Harris got it by 28.5. Republicans gained just 46. Dems gained 1,500. Others up 5,800. Dem advantage here 1.19 million. Back in 24, it was over 1.2 million. Back in 16, it was 1.13 million. South Dakota had Trump getting it by 29.2. GOP gained 384. Dems in the other direction, minus 368. Other is up 172. Republican advantage, 179K. Back in 24, it was 170, and back in 16, it was 81,000. Kentucky had Harris getting it by 30.5. Republicans gained 2,200. Dems down more than 1,100. Other is up 1,500. GOP advantage, 229K. Back in 24, it was 150. Back in 16, Dems were up themselves at over 355K. In Oklahoma, Trump was up 34.3%. Since the last update, Republicans gained 1,500, Dems lost over 900, and other is up 2,382. GOP advantage 672K. In 24, it was 606, and back in 16, it was way lower at 127,000. Then we've got Idaho. Trump got it by 36.5. Only little action here. Republicans lost 95 while the Dems went up 75. Other is up 292. GOP advantage is 507,000. Back in 24, it was 496, and back in 16, it was 306. And the last state is West Virginia. Here we've got Trump up there at a massive 41.9%. Republicans lost 374. Dems lost more than 2K. Other is down 790. GOP advantage is 178,000. Back in 24, it was lower. It was 144. And back in 16, Dems had an advantage themselves of 172,000. It's another state that's been red for a long time on a presidential level, but the voter registration has taken a long time to catch up. So that's it. Those are all the states. And like we've seen in most months, most of it is favorable for the Republicans. There's a few states where the Dems actually had some gains, but at the same time, how much do these gains even matter? We've seen in the special elections, Dems have clearly overperformed. They're excited about the midterms. At the end of the day, that's what you want to have success in. It's not as important to have these numbers in your favor, but at the same time, month after month, if one side keeps gaining and the other side keeps losing, you're not really going to want to see that either, especially considering long-term trends. But these are just the numbers. You could interpret them any way you'd like. But for now, that's it. So let me know in the comments. What do you think about any of the data in any of these states? Is it good for the Republicans? Do the Dems have some positive signs of their own? How much does it even matter considering the election results? Let me know what you think down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.